What's up, y'all? This is the Back to the Boom BAP podcast, and I'm your host, Monev360. And today I have a very special guest on the show. He's a boom bap producer for over 15 years. He's also a content creator and building his community and brand online. And he's all about cooking up that boom bap. So everybody help me in welcoming They Call Me Heat to the show. What's going on? They Call Me Heat.
What's going on? What's going on with you?
Doing good, man. How was your holiday season and everything?
Holiday was good. It was real good. Love spending it with family, just being with everybody. More so for the kids, but still enjoyable for us adults. We find our stuff that we like to do.
Yeah, no doubt. And Happy New Year to you, by the way.
Yeah, same to you.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
So I've been watching your channel for a while now, and I'm always been like beats that you make on there and stuff on your videos and everything, and you got a very fitting name. It's like They Call Me Heat. So like the first question that I wanted to ask you is, where did that come from? Like, how did you get the name They Call Me Heat?
Really, man, because on Instagram. So my name started off, I was Young Heat. Heat was like my starting name. So when I started making beats, I was rapping first though. And
okay.
Yep. So I was Young Heat as a rapper. And then I was like, man, where are we gonna get the beats from? Like there was no SoundClick yet, or it was there, but I didn't know about it yet. But I'm like, where are we gonna get the beats from? Like who's gonna make the beats? So I'm like, all right, I'm about to figure out how to make the beats. So I started making the beat and started using a program called Hip Hop EJ, and from there just making beats. And then I was like, yep, Young Heat is gonna just be my name. Forget it. Like that's just the name. I was rapping at first, but I'm just gonna keep it Young Heat. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then from there, like I said, I on Instagram it was like Mad Young Heats. But this is like Young Heat started like 2002, 2003. And,
okay.
So that's how long that's been my name. But like I said, once Instagram came around, social media, stuff like that, I was always Young Heat. But when Instagram came, I was like, you know what? I need something different. I can't be Young Heat. There's a lot of Young Heats. So I named the profile They Call Me Heat. And then one day, I was already doing like YouTube stuff, but it was under the Beat Majors, which is like my production team, my crew, my guys. And I was making content of that name, just saying Young Heat. And I'm like, this can't be my name. So I just like, you know what? My Instagram name is already there. I'm about to just brand myself as They Call Me Heat, because that's what people call me. They call me Heat anyway. So I'm gonna just be like, They Call Me Heat.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's more, that's more unique, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, there probably is a lot of Young Heats,
Yeah.
So like, do you still rap at all, or just only make beats now?
I hung the mic up years ago, man. That's not my forte. I figured out that I'm better with putting like sounds together than I am words. You know what I mean? Like, some people are just really good at like rhyme scheming words and putting all that together. Not me.
Yeah. The funny thing about me is I'm probably the opposite. I probably lean more with the rapping. I make beats too, but
right.
The rapping is what I started out with, and what I feel like I'm better at. But as far as like production, and like you said you needed beats like when you were rapping and stuff like that and couldn't find them. But who inspires you, as far as being a hip hop producer and the beats that you make?
Well, I'll take it back to like the early days, like Knox Raw. He produced
a
lot of he produced a lot of like Busta Rhymes, Dilla, of course. Yeah, but like me, when I first was like getting into production, Alchemist, Kanye, Pharrell, Timbaland,
all the names. Yep.
Dilla was doing his thing, or at least trying to come up during that time, so he wasn't really like out yet. But then around like when he passed, closer to when he was passing, that's when I like found him, and I'm like, I didn't know he was like right up the street from me, literally in Detroit. Like I'm from Jackson, Michigan, and Detroit is like
okay.
It's like an hour away from me. And I'm like, yo, this dude is in my backyard. I didn't even know.
Wow.
Yep. And then I found Black Milk from there. So Black Milk, that's another inspiration. Let's see, it's a lot. Dr. Dre. There's a lot of I get my drum programming mainly from Dre. Just how I like hear drums, how I hear stuff like that. Just how he did his stuff. That's how I like to do my drums too. Just heavy hitters, you know, always banging. You know, Dilla had beats where like the drums weren't really like the prominent factor in the beat. It was more so the sample, but Dre had this thing with drums. No matter what the sound was, you always were gonna feel the drums, and that's always how I felt about my own drums. So I'm like, yeah, I need my drums to smack every time. But yeah, Dre, definitely. So yeah, those are a lot of the ones that inspire me the most, and still to this day.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And also like, so you know, there's a lot of subgenres of hip hop. You know, you got your trap and your drill and all these types of things. You know, what people may call conscious rap now, but like what you know, the type of stuff that Public Enemy and like X-Clan was doing back in the day. So like, out of all the subgenres in hip hop, like what attracted you to boom bap?
I was more so infatuated with like chopping samples and like flipping samples and making them all be different than the original. I was infatuated with that. Like, wow, you took that sample and you chopped it up and you did this to it. Like, it was crazy. I remember being on the MySpace days and like hearing Illmind post certain beats up, and I'm like, yo, what sample is that? And just was like, I was like, I gotta figure out how to do this. I gotta learn how to really truly sample. So I was making beats with just using like the Fruity Loop stock sounds, and you know, it worked out for a while. But then I'm like, I love sampling. You know, I can make trap, I can make R&B, I can make all those other genres, but boom bap sampling, I always ran back to that. You know, So I had a period of time where I was making the trap, the R&B, trying to just appeal to the radio and stuff like that. But I found myself always loving sampling more. So even when I made trap stuff, I sample a lot. R&B stuff, I sample a lot too. But I just liked sampling. I liked how I liked programming boom bap drums and just the dirty, grimy, dusty drums. I like that. So yeah. That's really what attracted me to boom bap, is just sampling and those dirty drums, you know, finding drum breaks, going to find records and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the same here, man. I love it. Like, you know, the trap style, I mean, it wasn't what I grew up on, you know what I'm saying? Around the time, you know, when it started getting popular and everything, I was already fans of like Nas and Wu-Tang and everybody like that. So, you know, when I finally started producing in the early 2000s, it was like, you know, I wanted to do stuff like what I grew up on, you know. So, like, so I definitely can relate to that, you know.
Absolutely. And I love like T.I., I love like, you know, all the down south cats. Like, I love that style. Like, I was making those type of beats for a while. Like, DJ Toomp is still one of my favorite producers. I don't know, like Toomp has like a very militant sound, if that makes sense. Or like it make you be like, what's that? Like, you know, and just make you stand up and be like, yo, what is that? You know?
His beats are epic, man. Like that, that what you know about that, like, I just love that, man. I love like the what's the other joint that he did on the American Gangster, Say Hello.
Yep, Say Hello. Like, oh my goodness, man. Yep. You know? Yep. It's like, to me, it's kind of because, you know, Manny Fresh was making that same type of sound. But it was sped up. He was using the horns. He was using all that, but it was sped up. And DJ Toomp, I feel like, took it and just kind of slowed it down. Took his time with it, you know?
Right. Yeah. So, and also you have mentioned, you know, making beats on FL Studio. I know that's what you do. That's what I use too. And like, You know, it's like as far as FL Studio, what do you love about FL Studio, and do you think that the machine or the software that you use affects the quality of your music at all? What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I'll answer the first part. So I love FL because of the simplicity of it. Now I started on FL. So there's two sides to this. I started on FL3. So FL Studio, FL3, it was Fruity Loops at that time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't FL Studio until like version 4 or 5, I think. But yeah. So Fruity Loops 3 is what I started on, and it was just blocks. So you had to make a whole pattern and then copy and paste the pattern over. It's kind of like the MPC. You got to copy the whole pattern over, chop out, take out what you want. It's not like now where you can cut the clip short, stuff like that. But it's always just been easy, and that's what I learned on. So I hate moving to different DAWs, but and learning different DAWs is important though, you know, because I know how to use pretty much every DAW. Like I used FL, then I went to Reason, then I went to then I had Ableton for a quick second. I didn't really stick with it, but I had Ableton for a second. Then I went back to FL Studio. Then I went to Sonar, trying to make beats in there. Like I've tried that too. I've tried so many different programs, just trying to like figure out which one I really love. But I always found myself, same with Boom Bap, just going back to FL Studio. I just love the simplicity. The layout is so easy to grab samples, chop samples, lay a drum pattern down real quick. Like I know FL so much that I can just add just the sampler channel in, and then click in my notes, and then just go add in the sounds, like the kick, the snare. Like I've gotten to that point where I know it so much like that, just so I don't lose the idea. You know what I mean? Because you know, when you're trying to create and you're trying to go through 50,000 kicks, 50,000 snares, like you kind of lose the idea. So I started trying to figure out, or FL gave me the opportunity to figure out that I can make the beat without even hearing anything, and then go in and be like, all right, this is where the kick's supposed to go. This is where the snare's supposed to go. Right. So yeah, so it's super easy, super simplistic. And then I won't say that the program really affects the quality of your music. I think it's really more so the producer, because the more you know about your program, the better your sound is going to be. You know what I mean? If you don't know how to use it, if you don't know how to use the DAW, like the beats are going to sound trash because you just don't know that. You don't know that there's quality drum sounds out there. You don't know that there's quality plugins out there. So learning the DAW is the biggest thing, because your beats will be so much better if you know your DAW in and out.
Yeah. So as far as like you say you always came back to FL Studio. So like as far as like with Ableton and like Reason and Logic, had you ever used Logic too?
Oh yeah, I had Logic. I think I used that for like 4 years.
Yeah. So do you feel like the layout was more like complicated on some of the other ones like that, like Logic, Reason, Ableton than FL Studio, or like?
When you
I never really used some of the other ones.
Yeah, I think that when you just know what you want to do, it makes it easier to really work in any DAW. You know what I mean? Because you know what the end goal is. You just need to know how to get to that end goal. So when I was using Logic, I was going back and forth between FL Studio and Logic. So I was learning Logic, but I had FL Studio on a PC, and making the beats on FL Studio, then throwing it in Logic, and then me and my homies, we were recording Logic. But then I was like, man, Logic is super dope. It's got a lot of crazy sounds. Even because at that time, that's when that song by Usher came out, "Love in His Club."
Oh, and, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that was like, I think that was Logic 8. Yeah, Logic 8 is what I was on. That's what I started learning Logic on. And I was just like, I'm about to start using this. And I started figuring it out. And I made beats on there for like 4 years. And I was still going back to FL sometimes, because I had a PC and a MacBook at the same time. So I was able to use both at that time. But yeah, I would go to FL, go to Logic. But as far as the layouts in them, Ableton is like one of the hardest ones that I found to really understand.
It looks like it's complicated.
Yeah. And
I'm pretty sure it's a dope, DAW, but like,
fire. It's super fire. Like everything you can do in there, from sound design, all of that, is so much easier. I just like in Ableton and Logic, the thing I like about all of those plugins is that, let's say you have a sound, on the sequencer, whatever plugins you put on that sound, when you load that sound up, it's always going to load up with that sound, or that channel, I should say, if you save like that channel. And with FL Studio, you have to load the sound, then load the mixer preset, then send it to that mixer preset. You know what I mean? It's like too many extra steps that I feel FL Studio should get rid of. But yeah, the layout is definitely, I would say, easier in a lot of different programs as far as just how you can just get stuff done mixing wise, because there's too many steps in FL.
Okay, and continuing on what we're talking about FL Studio, I know that you recently released a video where you were talking about plugins, like 4 plugins that you love. So what are some of the favorite plugins that come from FL Studio that you like to use?
Let's see. The ones that come with FL, the one I like to use is called Sakura. Sakura, I think that's what it's called. But it's like this bass sound in there that I use, and it sounds super dope. Sounds like a real bass, and it's just a synthesized bass sound. Like they didn't sample a bass or nothing like that. They just created it, in that plugin. But that's dope. Poison is dope. I used to use that when I make trap beats. I was using that a lot. They had some dope arpeggios in there. Some dope lead sounds in there. What else? Something else. A sleeper in there is it's called Toxic Biohazard. That's a sleeper plugin in FL. If you got FL like the full version where all the plugins are unlocked, you'll get that plugin. But they got some super fire sounds in there. And then I think it's one more that I'm missing within FL.
I know one of them that you talked about in the video was it was the joint Fruity Delay, I think it was.
Oh yeah, the Fruity Delay too. Yeah, yep. That's a classic FL plugin that's been in there for a long time.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, I just like it because like I was saying in the video, it just that extra delay that it adds to it. It's like ear candy. It's just a little something that's in the background, and I just like stuff like that. Even when I like mix vocals and stuff, I always study like a lot of the great engineers, like people that mix for like Lil Wayne, obviously mixed by Ali, Fabian. There's a lot of different engineers that I study, but just stuff that they do with the delay. I'm like, wow, I could do that to my beats. Like it doesn't have to just be on vocals. So Fruity Delay was one of the first ones that I started like just adding delay to the sample or sometimes to like a hi-hat or something. But it's super dope.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned that too, because sometimes there's things within a beat that are so subtle, but like it adds to it, and it's like the average person wouldn't catch it, but they probably would miss it if it wasn't there. Like you know what I'm saying? Like so that's it's good to have those little pieces in there.
Yep. And that's the reason why we like a lot of our favorite songs too, because it's certain things that the engineer did that we don't even know that they did, but it's just certain little things that you hear. If the engineer didn't do that, the song, you probably wouldn't like the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just those small little things that just make us love the beats or the songs or whatever that really add character to the track.
And also, what are some of the favorite plugins that you use that you imported in the FL Studio that doesn't come with it?
Yeah, obviously Serato Sample. I talked about that in that video.
Serato
Sample. That's a super dope one because that's like if anybody's ever used Machine or the newer MPCs where you can just chop with the pad or the key. You know what I mean? Like you can just, as it's playing, you can just add chops in. You know what I mean? So that's a super dope feature. What else do I like? I like there's a free one called by Spitfire Audio. It's called Labs, and it's a lot of orchestral sounds, so like pianos, timpani, they got horns, they got all types of stuff, violin, strings, and they sound super high quality, like you spent thousands of dollars on this plugin, but it's absolutely free. What else? One other one I'm gonna say is anything from the UAD Apollo interface. So like I have that interface, and they have plugins that they, like emulations of vintage plugins and stuff like that. So they have like the Neve EQ, they have the Teletronics LA2A, which is like a compressor or limiter, and what else?
Are those things that you use for vocals, or like do you use it for your beats? Like
yeah, you can use them on vocals, beats. I use the Neve EQ on my kicks, so just drums. The Teletronics, I use that sometimes on like strings, just to kind of balance it out. You know what I mean? What else? Yeah, that's a lot of them I can name. I can sit here and name a bunch of them, but those are like the top ones, though.
Yeah, that's what's up. You know, as far as boom bap, I always feel like boom bap is always here. You know what I'm saying? Even though like there are certain things we hear in the mainstream where it's not boom bap, you know, but like what do you think about what is the state of boom bap and hip hop music today? Like, you know.
I want to say really, I think that it's in one of the best states that it's ever been in, honestly, because it's finally now getting some shine. You know what I mean? I mean, we can definitely credit, and I'm speaking from a real true boom bap standpoint, like not people who like Logic, right? Logic, he makes boom bap, he goes over boom bap beats, and we know that he can do that, but he also teeters into other lanes, right?
Right.
When you think about like Griselda, they don't teeter into another lane. They're literally
that's one of the main ones I thought about. You know, as far as like right now, like
super fire. Everybody in there is super fire. But yeah, it's at a really good place because it's now getting a lot more shine. You know what I mean? Blogs are starting to pick it up. You know, media outlets are starting to really pick it up and be okay with showcasing it. You know,
right?
When we think about like the Lupe Fiasco time, right? People kind of felt like you listen to that conscious rap. It's like, no, it's not really conscious. We're talking about the same thing. It's just not so abrasive. You know what I'm saying? Griselda came and it's super abrasive again with them, but with like Lupe, he was talking about the same thing. You know, talking about the streets of Chicago, how things is going down. You know, how people getting killed, all that type of stuff. Same thing with Griselda. They talking about the same thing NBA YoungBoy is talking about. You know, but it's just not over 808s and fumbling hi-hats. Like it's just over a sample with no drums, you know, but they're talking about the same exact thing. But yeah, like I said, a lot of media outlets are now figuring out that this is here to stay. This ain't going nowhere. So we might as well start being a part of this too. So I feel like it's in a very good state because a lot of people are starting to get the shine. People are actually making money from this thing. They're actually eating from this thing. So yeah, it's in a real good state.
Yeah, I think the independent aspect of a lot of the artists like that, it helps it too. That they don't feel like they have to go to radio to get heard. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like I think the Griselda movement was like a really grassroots thing when they first started, and and they just built up their core fan base doing what they do. I haven't seen them change yet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, not chasing a radio hit, nothing. Like, we haven't heard them on the radio at all.
Yeah.
And they selling out shows, they selling out merch, they selling out, like really doing numbers. So it just shows they definitely was a breath of fresh air when they came out, and they opened the door for a lot of people that were already doing it. Like Rock Marciano. Like, Rock Marciano is the true OG of this boom bap stuff, but he really wasn't getting the shine that he should have been getting until Griselda really was catapulted into the forefront, and now it's like, this dude, this person been, this person.
Yeah,
it's like, they've been doing it.
Guys like that,
Yep.
When I watch your videos, I see that you use sample packs. Sometimes you sample from TrackLib and different things like that. And it's really a smart thing in these times. And I just wanted to know, like, what is your view on what to sample and what to not to sample, as far as from like a copyright claim on YouTube thing and like a sample clearance standpoint? What's your thoughts on that?
So I'll start with TrackLib. TrackLib is like, I guess it's the more responsible way, the way to go if you truly feel like, I'm gonna get sued.
Yeah.
I get a lot of comments of people being like, yo, how can I, put my beats out without being sued or getting hit with copyright? And for me, I never know when I'm going to get hit for copyright. You know what I mean? I don't. But I don't let that stop me, because I'm not on a level. I'm not on like a Kanye West level where, he's selling millions of records, and then, people are now trying to come get their money. Like, the cost of somebody taking me to court is going to cost them more than what they would even get, from me.
Right.
So it's like, I'm just going to put it out. And if they be like, hey, you can't use this, then I'll take it down. But I just take the chance. I got a lot of videos on YouTube that have been hit with, not necessarily copyright strike, but they're more so now doing it to where they just take your monetization. So they take your ad revenue. So that video you may not get paid for the ad revenue.
Right, right.
Yeah, so but that's just from the videos. But as far as like beat tapes that I put out, albums that I put out, like I used it on the one album, my first like EP, and I was producing it, trying to get my DJ Khaled on. It was me and my homies. I had first got the first machine, the MK1, and I was like, man, I want to make an EP. Just like while I'm learning this machine, I want to like make the beats that I make while I'm learning it. Y'all rap on them, and then we're gonna put it out. So we did that. It's called Machine Files, and that's up on streaming. But I used the Biggie 10 Crack Commandment sample. I used like a part that he didn't use. But yeah, like, I don't know if that's a well-known sample or not to people, but I mean, that album is still up there. It's been up there since like 20.
And that's on YouTube?
That's YouTube. That's on streaming, everything, And I know that I've used some samples that, I won't say that like a Diana Ross or Marvin Gaye or nothing like that. I stay away from those people. And I've been doing it for a while to know that, nope, that's too prominent. Nope, too many people know that sample. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I know those ones to stay away from, but I do try to dig. Like I got a couple guys, I'll give a secret on this podcast, but I got a couple guys on Instagram that I go to. They dig for records. So,
okay.
So they dig for them, they post them up, and then I just hit them up like, yo, can I get the wave for that? So they'll record the whole record for me. So it's kind of like I went in to dig for records, but these people just already did the work for me.
Yeah, so, like another way to dig, like
yep. And so, with that, I'm in some groups on Facebook where people just share samples all day, and I just go there, find the best ones that I like, save them, and then use them in a video or something. But yeah, I don't really worry about the copyright claim or strikes or nothing like that, because I know that my level and what I create, I'm not really at the point of where somebody's about to be like, yo, I'm about to sue him. They might tell me to take it down. I'll take it down if they do, but I haven't hit that point yet. But TrackLib is good to kind of stay away from that. So if you do want to use a sample and put it out, you can get the license from them. But yeah, I just take the chance, man. But like I said,
hopefully nothing ever happens to any of us that make beats and post them on YouTube, like as far as like copyright strike deals and stuff like that. Because I get copyright claimed on stuff, but it's unfortunate from the monetization standpoint. But at least if you still want to have the video up, you can have it up.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, and that's why I like that. That's why I'm glad that I haven't been hit with a copyright strike yet. And I shouldn't even say yet, but at the same time, if that ever happened, I'll just take the content down. But yeah, really, the thing I've been blessed to have is just for them to just take the ad revenue, but the valuable content is still up there for the producers.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what about sample packs? Like do people reach out to you and say, hey, like, can you use my sample pack on your video, or like how do you do with the sample packs?
Yep. So I've had a few companies hit me up. Like I did content for TrackLib actually too. They actually reached out and I actually did content for them. But yeah, some people have hit me up to just, I like your content. Can you make me, a review video or whatever? And we'll talk about, the details behind that. But yeah, that's pretty much what they do. Just hit me up, have me want to review their pack. But lately I've been kind of stepping back just because I'm trying to just build my own, thing or whatever. So
yeah. You definitely can do that, man. Have your own pack and be like,
yep,
promoting that on your videos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, most definitely. can't keep working for everybody else. I mean, you get that upfront fee or whatever, or however, whatever details are for you, but I just think it's more valuable to just promote your own content, and no shot to the sample creators. Like, I want to help out and I want to be a lane or an avenue for them, but I just gotta
gotta
find a balance. Yeah. Gotta have a good balance of both. Yeah.
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 And also, I know that you do beat battles on Discord and everything like that. Like, you have people play their beats and everything. And tell me a little bit more about that. Like, how important is it to build community, to grow your brand, and give a little bit of details about the beat battle?
Yeah. So starting out, like, with the content thing, like, I didn't really know what to do. Like, I was just making tutorial videos, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just thinking that, like, oh, I'm gonna just get a bunch of subscribers and I'm gonna be straight. But I started figuring out that, like, in order for you to really grow, you have to have like a bunch of people that follow you, and not follow you in the sense of like, I'll do whatever you say, but like, no, like, people that really want to just be a part of something that's dope, So I started the Discord, and just to have a place for, also just in case YouTube ever shuts down or they shut my channel down, I got a place to be like, yo, this happened, but come over here, we over here,
Right.
So I started that, and then that started picking up. We got like over 1,300 producers in the community right now, so that's growing. But yeah, it's super important to have a community, because those are the people that are, those are the people that are gonna watch your videos. If you make content, those are the people that are gonna buy product from you. If you have product, those are people that are gonna continue to show love, just in general. As long as you give them valuable content and treating everybody right and helping them out, then they're continuously going to show love and want to grow with you. So the Discord is very important for me, because, like I said, it's a place where all of the producers that continue that steadily, that like actually watch the videos, they have a place to just kind of hang out,
Right.
And then so I was like, we need something else going on in the community, because we do a weekly sample flip in there too. So every week a producer is nominated, and then they got to supply one or two samples, or how many samples you want to supply, and everybody got to chop it up and do their thing. But I'm like, we got to figure out a way to showcase this more. So I was like, well, we'll keep the weekly sample flip just for activity, every week. But let's do a monthly beat battle. So me and my moderator, we started like kind of figuring out how we could do that. And yeah, we've been doing that for almost a year now. But we just every month.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you got the weekly sample flip, and then every month you do a beat battle.
Yep.
And you post those on you post the beat battles on your channel, right?
Yeah. I stream right from the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Okay.
So people can at least see it. They may not be able to be a part of it if they didn't catch the battle, but they can see it. So next time they know. Because I want to try to I got over 30,000 people on YouTube, but only 1,300 people in the Discord. So it's like, all right,
which is still a lot of people,
No, definitely.
That's a good core audience to have, like, people that like rock with you like that,
Most definitely. I'm just trying to grow that mug in the Discord. Yo, come over here. Let's do this beat battle. Come on.
Yeah. The more you promote it on your your channel, the more it grows.
Yep.
Yeah. And you have mentioned some, about like the type of content that you make on your channel, like about that you do like tutorials, and like, I mean, the way I see it is, it's like a mixture. It's like a mixture of you making the beat in real time, and then like kind of teaching along the way, and like kind of like dropping gems as you're doing it. I like the way you do that like that. And I just kind of wanted to know, as far as for like, let's say like new producers, balance between learning from tutorials like you do on your channel, and like learning on your own from practicing, experimenting. People can get into like a paralysis of analysis and get information overload, but then they don't put, So what do you think about that?
So I say, like, try to try to experiment more than practice, although you want to make sure that you are practicing, but experimenting is practicing if you think about it, you know what I mean? Because you're actually like in the field doing the work, you know, at the same time. So if you do run into something, then you can go over to YouTube and be like, all right, how do I fix this, or how do I do this? But yeah, I would say, you know, experiment more than practice. And as far as what I mean by just practicing, I mean by like sitting there trying to learn all day, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because yeah, you'll like you said, you'll run into information paralysis. You just got all of this like information, and now you run into the DAW, and you're like, all right, where do I start with what I learned?
Yeah.
Like, no, today start with learning how to mix the kick, how to EQ the kick first. All right, I've EQ'd it. Now figure out how to put compression on it, or put a limiter on it, or figure out what the limiter can do for you next. You know what I mean? Or figure out what a transient master can do for you. You know, like do it in steps. But at the same time, keep experimenting and keep trying things out, because you'll start figuring out that like, okay, that didn't work. And even if, you know, while you learning, a lot of different people, we all have different ears. So the way that we hear stuff, like you may have learned from somebody, but now you're trying to apply what they actually gave you, and your stuff sounds like theirs. And it's like, man, my stuff doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound right. That's because you're trying to copy them. You're supposed to just, and that's why I changed up the way that I teach on YouTube. Like, I don't teach like, how can I say it? I teach the more technical aspects. So like, I don't teach, all right, your compressor has to be set at this, the release has to be set at this. I'm like, no, this is what the release does. This is what the threshold does. Now adjust accordingly. You know what I mean?
I really like that. Yeah, like don't make it like it's coursework and it's like step by step. Like you do this. Like, no, it's not. It's not like that, because it could always be different. It depends on what kind of sound you're going for. Absolutely. Like, you know,
every beat gonna sound different. Like nothing's gonna sound the same. So when you're trying to, you know, stick to these one settings, every beat is going to start sounding the same. Everything maybe one beat may be over compressed from the other because the type of sound you use. You know what I mean? Like, so I just say just experiment. Although practice and experiment, but when you're experimenting, that's ultimately practicing. So just find that balance between the both by just being in the field more. You know what I'm saying? Open that DAW up and just try stuff. You know. And you'll start figuring out like, oh, I was doing that wrong the whole time. Oh, that's why this does this. Oh, that's why that does that. Oh, that's what he was talking about, you know?
Yeah. One of the best ways to learn is to actually, you know, get your hands dirty and just start doing it. Start making mistakes. Start, you know, messing around with it.
Because even when like computer music became like a big thing, YouTube wasn't out for me yet. Like I said, I started in Fruity Loops 3. So that was 2002, 2003. So there was no YouTube yet. YouTube tutorials didn't come until 2006, 2008-ish. That's when tutorials hit. But so I was trying to figure out all this stuff on my own and just experimenting, just doing everything, just even when it came to mixing vocals and all that, like it was just experience. And then, like I said, a few years later, now tutorials is coming. So now you got producers showing you actually how to do this stuff. But I'm like, I already been, now I'm just trying to figure out how to use it the correct way, because I already know how to use it. I just need to know how to, you know what I mean?
Right. It kind of just gives you just a little bit extra and stuff. You know, from what you're saying, like me and you, we kind of probably started making beats around the same time. So yeah, I definitely can relate to, you know, the early days of FL Studio and stuff. So,
we had to do it all ourselves back in the day. Man.
You're on your own. You had mentioned about drums and stuff earlier, so I wanted to kind of talk a little bit more about drums. Like, where do you like to get your drums that you usually use for your beats, and like, what's your main things that you think about as far as making them knock? You know?
So the first part, I would say, I have kits that I had from like 2006 that I still use to this day, because the only reason is because I know how to use the sounds now. Like when I got them back in the day, like I was only using them on the C key, like the middle key. Like I wasn't pitching them up and down. I wasn't trying them, you know, trying to EQ them different. Like now I know that, I can take a kick and go down 2 semitones. So those sounds that I thought were trash in 2006 were really are a lot of the sounds that we get in the kits today. A lot of sounds are recycled. Like there was this company on eBay. So this is before Drum Broker. This is before all of this. Like back in the day, I want to say this was 2000. What is Ja Rule? Ja Rule was popping like what, 2004? Okay.
Yeah, like the early 2000s. Yeah.
So 04, 05, there was this company on eBay called Deadly Drums. And I was on eBay searching drum kits, and they was the ones. They had like this demo, and the sound. I was like, "Ooh, that's crazy!" Like some West Coast, like crazy stuff. And I'm like, "Man, this is amazing. This is what people are making with these drums." But this was at the time where I thought, if I get these drums, I can make beats like that.
Right.
So I got those sounds, and ultimately I can. If I was better, if I knew what I was doing, I would have been able to, emulate their beats. But so I got those sounds, and I'm like, man, but I don't know how to make those beats. Like it's not coming out how I want it to come out. So I kind of just pushed those sounds to the side, but I kept them. I held on to them. I never threw them away or nothing like that. So 10 years down the line, here I am still using those same kits, but now, like I said, I'm pitching them up and down. I'm EQing them differently, stuff like that.
Yeah, tell me about pitching them up and down. Like, so like you tune your drums. Like, what's the what would you say is the importance of tuning your drums and stuff on your beats?
Hey, funny thing is I never tune my drums. It's funny. So like a lot of producers, they'll tell you like, yeah, put it on the make sure it's on the middle C or whatever, on the middle key. I just go to the key that sounds good. Like I'm
okay.
This one. This one right here, it sounds good. So like I can get a kick drum out of a random kit, and it may not be in tune. And then like I said, I may go to the keyboard and be like, okay, man, that's hitting much better on this key right here. And it still may not be the right key, but it just sounds good right there. So I just know what sounds good and what doesn't. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to, how you can hear a singer and you like, man, that's out of key.
Yeah.
Some people can do that, but for me, it's not about the key. It's just really about, does that sound good? Like, is it okay right there? Yeah. So I just when I talk about like pitching them up and down, like I'll take a kick and it'll sound good, right wherever it's at. But then when you kind of pitch it down, it kind of has like certain little things, like it'll be a little bit more rounder. It'll hit a little harder just because you just went down in the key a couple semitones. So I don't really worry about tuning it
right there. Because I would say like, I had never really. That's something that I probably need to start doing with with my drums and stuff. Like I know people have talked about tuning drums and stuff, but I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to do it, But like I might just try to just experiment and like you said, and see what what pitch sounds the best with it.
Yeah, because when you think about it too, man, like now how like we can put it in FL Studio, we can put it in Edison, we can detect pitch region, it'll tell us what key it is, stuff like that. But when you think about it, Kanye, Pharrell, Timbaland, they didn't have that on the ASR 10. They didn't have it on the MPC.
Right.
So if they found a kick in a kit, they went with that kick, and they may have pitched it up and down, or they didn't, but they used it right where it was at. And we love the songs. So it's like this stuff, that's just technical stuff that you can do. But for me, I'm more so about, does it sound good? You know what I mean? I'm not really worried about the technical aspect of it, of like, pitch it, make sure it's an A. If it's an A, put it on A, and then where does it sound good?
Like, where does it sound good? Yeah. Also, another thing, like, so you use kits, like I think a lot of producers use kits now as far as where they get their drums and stuff. I do too. Do you also like chop up break beats and stuff to get your drums sometimes?
Yep. Even if I'm like, if I grab some kits off a Drum Broker or something like that, a producer may have made like some loops or something, drum loops, and then I'll just chop that up, take the snare out of it. I might like that snare, it may go with this kick that I'm using or something like that. But I even create my own drum loops too, but I definitely like taking sounds from actual drum loops. And I tell that to producers too, like, yo, you ain't got no sound kits, go find some drum loops and chop them bad boys up, because if you got 20 different drum loops in the pack, now you got 20 different kicks. Now you have a brand new drum kit.
Most definitely.
Yep.
And what about EQ and drums? Like what's some like basic or like main things that people can keep in mind with EQ?
Man, EQ is kind of hard because it's like, you know, every kick or every snare, every hi-hat is all gonna be different. Yeah. But I mean, for me, with the kicks, I would say I do a lot of cutting out the high end. I think of sounds as shapes. So like when you mess with the EQ and you may cut a certain way, it may be that it sounds like a triangle. Or if you EQ and you cut a certain way, it may sound like a circle. It may sound boxy, you know, like a square. So like I look at sounds as shapes, and it just depends on what shape I'm going for when it comes to, you know, that type of beat. So if I want my kick to be more round, all right, I know I'm probably gonna have to cut more of the high end out. If I want my kick to be a bit more of a triangle, I keep the high end in, but I may have to cut some just slightly out the lows. So just stuff like that. I really, on my kicks and stuff, I use like a EQ and a transient master from Native Instruments, but there's so many transient designers out there that you could use. That's just the one that I just know that I've been using for years now.
It's not just about beat placements for like producers. I think a lot of producers think that that's the only way that you can make money, but you know, there's other ways. So tell us about your course that you made about boom bap called Cooking That Boom Bap Masterclass.
Yeah. So I guess because it's kind of a two-part right here. So like it's not just about placements. That's true. That's absolutely true. Especially in this day and age, because like literally Johnny down the street can start an Instagram, and as long as he's posting every single day valuable content for a whole year straight, he can be hundreds of thousands of subscribers or followers just in a year, you know. It's that easy, you know. You don't even have to be selling nothing. You literally could just be giving valuable content, valuable information, you know. So that's big, you know. Not don't just worry about placements. Like you can sound kits, courses, giving information, monetization from YouTube of you just giving information. So even if you don't have a product, YouTube will give you money just by posting on their platform, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely you can focus more on other stuff, not just placements. But the Cooking That Boom Bap Masterclass, I've been doing these videos on YouTube since 2016. That was the point of when I was like trying to take it serious. And I was, like I said, I was doing just tutorials, but there was already a Busy Works Beats. There's already somebody out there that has tutorials. That's like, no, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. Whereas me, I'm like, I don't want to be the tutorial guy. I just want to share the knowledge that I have and help other producers. So I started just doing beat making videos, but in the videos, I'm giving so much game in the video of how to do certain things. Hopefully producers catch it, you know, or hoping that producers catch it. So a lot of producers love my process and what I do. So I felt like I should put together a course where producers can learn directly from me. They don't even have to sit in front of me. They can literally, I'll start from top to bottom, how I find the sounds, where to go to get the sounds if you don't have them, how to make them sound good, stuff like that. I noticed that a lot of producers don't know how to make a beat, take a beat from being in a loop to now turning it into a full beat without an artist being there.
Right.
I'm like, that's easy. Just copy and paste and cut some stuff out. That's easy, you know. But so I felt like I need to make a course where I can pretty much explain and show the full process, start to finish, on how to really make a boom bap beat. Because there's a lot of people who love boom bap, but they just don't know how to do boom bap. You know, lo-fi has become a new thing. But people don't know that lo-fi is boom bap essentially. It's the same thing. Y'all just took it and just slowed it down. You finding the dirty drums, you finding these chords or whatever.
Different,
This is the same thing. But yeah, so I needed to just make a course where people could just see that process though, on how to do that. So that's pretty much what the Cooking That Boom Bap Masterclass is full start to finish beat making process, from finding the sounds, making the beat into a loop, then taking that loop into a full beat, mixing the beat, and then putting it out, you know, having it ready for artists or beat tape or whatever.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. It's dope that you have that, because it is a lot of people that they things that are simple to you because you've been doing it for so long. Like, people could be racking their brain, like, how do I do this? How do I sample in FL Studio? How do I, like, stuff that's simple to us that it's valuable for them to have that information and be able to do it,
Yep. And that's why I said I teach the way that I teach, because like when you teach step by step, like you were talking about, step by step, you start rambling and giving them all this other information that don't matter. Just give them the information that matters for that moment. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I only do beat making videos, because what I'm doing in that moment is the only thing that matters. Not, the compressor does this and the EQ does this. It's like, nah, I'm making this beat. I'm gonna put this EQ on here. I'm about to show you what it does to my kick. I'm about to show you what it does to my snare. Now you can take that information and do whatever you want to do with it.
Okay, and like in addition to, into the course that you have, Cooking That Boom Bap, like we already know that it is important for producers and anybody that's doing content creation or whatever to have multiple streams of income. So like, could you kind of like go through some of the other things that you have and just be able to give people other options of what they can do, to make money with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we just talked about courses. I have sound kits. I have merch.
Okay,
I got merch.
Merch.
Got some merch. I do. I work at a recording studio. So.
Okay.
So I record, mix, and master at the studio. What am I missing? Consultations. So producers want to talk to me and they want to learn something. We can get on the call and we can have a conversation about something. I can walk you through stuff. But consultations. That's five streams of income right there.
Yeah,
YouTube, of course. You know what I mean?
With the AdSense and
stuff. With the AdSense, And then now, for the past 2 months, Instagram has hit me with the Reels bonus. So I've been able to make an income off of Instagram for the past, really 3 months, because they did it November. 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 I got paid in November. So November, December, now January. So I've been in like that cycle of
like. So how does the Instagram Reels work? Do you have to have like a certain amount of followers or to be eligible for that, or how?
No, somebody told me that, but no, they hit me randomly, because what I was doing for a period of time is I was trying to post every day. So I was doing that for like, I think a few weeks, and I fell off, and then I think I posted a video randomly on my way to the gym. I posted a video on the way to the gym, and then that video like went crazy. Like I think it was like, normally my views are like 2,000, 3,000 a video, but this one, I think to this day, is at like 144,000 views. So that went crazy. Then I had another one that's still picking. It actually went crazy, but then it like fell off, and then I was picking back up. So I think that one has had like almost 20,000 views. But the point I'm trying to make is that because I had these like these couple of moments, I think they saw that as, okay, you have some valuable information, or you have something that people like, so we're gonna hit you with the bonus. So they gave me that bonus, and then from there, I only have like, at the time when they gave me the bonus the first time, I think I only had like 4,100 followers on there. I think I'm only up to like 42 or 43 now, 4,300. So I don't think the follower count matters. I just think the activity matters. You know what I mean? The consistency.
Is it like based on view? You think it's based on the views that your reels get, or is it just the consistency of like doing it daily? Or
I think it's just consistency, because I've been seeing even with Facebook, some people are getting like the business bonus or something like that, and I'm like, you're not even creating content every day like that, so how are you even eligible for this? So I think that they're just trying to roll this out to people who are just being consistent in some sense. Even if you're not consistent every day, you're consistently posting maybe every few days. You know what I mean? There's some type of consistency there, but it's not like, are you post this month and then you post 6 months later? It's like, no, we see you posting here and there. Let us give you this to kind of incentivize you wanting to post more. So I think it's a smart strategy to go along with that, for you to be doing that, because the social media platforms are like prioritizing short form content right now. Ever since
TikTok became like, as big as it did, everybody's following suit, with YouTube Shorts and stuff, and now, Facebook has Facebook Reels, so like.
Facebook is really, Facebook is Instagram now, or Instagram is Facebook now, but so that's definitely a given. But I think that these platforms they figured out that the only way for us to really get people to truly create on here on a consistent basis, outside of them making money from their own thing, is to incentivize them, give them some type of income, to make them continue posting. So I'm glad that they're falling into that line, because YouTube's been doing it for years. I wish that the revenue was still the same as it was years ago, but it's cool.
Yeah.
So like the ad revenue kind of went down as far as like the amount that companies are paying, creators, but it's cool.
Yeah, I don't know what caused that. Like, I don't know if it was ever since the pandemic or what,
Right.
And they had the adpocalypse thing one time, with the content that they don't want to have their videos advertised on,
Yeah. But it's cool. As long as y'all just keep incentivizing creators, and that'll make more creators and more people to make money, and that'll help the companies make money. Because it's even though it looks like it's saturated, like there's a lot of creators, it's really not a lot of creators out there. There's more consumers than there is creators.
Oh yeah. That's way more. Like on YouTube, like if you know that, I think the latest stats is like 2.6 billion people globally watch YouTube. So if you think about it, even if there's like millions of creators, there's so many more people watching than there is making content. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Like, come over here and get this money.
Oh yeah. So all right, now I'm about to put you on the spot. We earlier in the interview, you were mentioning some of the producers that you were inspired by. So like, what's your top 5 producers of all time, like off your head?
Dilla, number 1, always.
All right, okay, always. My man.
Alchemist, number 2.
Okay.
And this is I'm not gonna
say
no
order, right?
Yeah, no order. Dilla's always
after
number
Dilla.
1. Yeah, he's always number 1. No order for the rest, but yeah, Dilla, Black Milk, Alchemist, that's 3. Just for what he did, I know there's a lot of BS circulating his name, but Kanye is still always in my top producer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Producer list.
Yes, producer. Not
yeah. He always gonna be up there, just because he changed the game with his sound, and what he was able to create. We can never push that to the side. Like just what he created and brought to the game, the new style, we can never push him to the side. So that's
samples.
4.
Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah, that's 4. So we got. I think for the last one, I think I'm gonna put Knots up there, man.
Knots raw, baby.
His name is so
Knots is a beast, man.
Man,
like, the dude drums, makes beats like every single day, man.
Yep, his drums, his bass lines, is crazy. But those are definitely my 5 right there for sure.
Okay, I can't argue with that list, man. I really can't. Like, you didn't mention Pete Rock. I'm a Pete Rock guy too. Like, but I know it's off the top of the head, but
well, no, Pete Rock, he definitely is in my top. He's definitely in my top.
Yeah.
In my top producers, but I'm gonna have to say that Kev Brown is above Pete Rock. But Kev Brown is Pete Rock though.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kev Brown definitely was. He was inspired by Pete Rock.
Most definitely, like every beat
Kev Brown's bass lines are insane to me, man.
Man, I would have put him in my top 5. He just hasn't put a lot out, but a lot of Kev Brown stuff. Like he's my number 6. He's number 6 for sure.
Kev Brown, number 6.
Yeah, he would have to be the number 6 for sure. But yeah, Pete Rock he's an amazing producer. He's done a lot for the game when it comes to boom bap hip hop. Just that soulful, sound. Outside of that, Reminisce Over You. Outside of that, like just what he's done, just in general with the albums he was putting out, like the Soul Brother, like crazy, man, crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
One of my favorite that he did too, before we move on, one of my favorite songs, it was by Ed O.G. Pete Rock did a remix. I had the vinyl when I was younger. All the moving I've done over the years, I lost it. But yeah, they had a vinyl, and it was the two songs. It was the original, I think, and then it was it was the instrumental and the remix. But yeah, y'all check that out on YouTube. Ed O.G.
Do you remember what the name of the song was?
Man, I had to look it up on Spotify, but I'm trying to think. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, it's all good if you can't find it right now. I'll probably look for it later. And,
Yeah, just search Ed O.G. Pete Rock remix. You'll find it. Yep.
Okay. And this question was a follow up. I didn't know who you were gonna say your number one person was. That's also my favorite producer, Jay Dilla. So my next question for you is for maybe producers that are younger or something that may not be familiar with Jay Dilla. What is it about Jay Dilla that makes him so great to you?
That you know about Jay Dilla and you don't even know, even if you don't know, I should say. That's what makes people great. You know about him and you don't even know about him. You know what I'm saying?
Explain that.
Okay, so if you've listened to Slum Village, if you've listened to Busta Rhymes, if you've listened to Erykah Badu, if you've listened to any of those people, you know Jay Dilla, but you just don't know. You don't know that he produced these records. So some of our favorite Slum Village records, obviously he did that joint for Erykah Badu. He did a mad stuff for Erykah, but the one that's prominent that people really truly know, it's just amazing when you can have this style or this sound that people love, and then still be the top sound. He passed in 06?
Yeah, 06, yeah.
Or almost, 4 years away from it being 20 years ago that we lost him, right? That's amazing for people to still all these years later be I want to be like him. That's crazy. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things for me. And the other big thing that makes him great is just the sound that he created, with samples. And he's one of the first to really, I don't want to say the first because I don't really know how far it dates back producer wise, but he was one of the first that I know about that really truly was dissecting records, taking piece, and making it into this one whole thing.
He had a very creative way of doing it. I know people that did it before, but very creative way of doing it. But
he could do it from multiple different places, though. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing taking one record and then taking that and chopping that up but when you could take it from here and put these different things, dog, that's a science, that's a gift.
Yep.
And for them to be in different time signatures, for them to be in different, he was going nuts. And I had a dude the other day comment on one of my videos and say he laughed and said, micro chopping, what is this dude talking about? And I'm like, see, this is why I know that a lot of y'all truly don't know.
They don't understand. Yeah, they don't understand
that's micro chopping, dog.
The process.
Yeah, that's what micro chopping is. You're taking a very small piece, not just a loop, but you're taking just
small piece,
one note basically.
Yeah.
And you able to it's crazy, man. So yeah, that's what made him great for me, man. And just his drum programming, how he could really make that kick sound like a drummer. Nobody was making it sound like a drummer from a drum machine, though. Turning the swing off, turning the quantize off, and then just being yeah, I don't want that on the grid. But you making drummers be
the rhythm, man. He changed how actual drummers play. That's how crazy it was.
That's what I was just about to say. Questlove was even questioning himself. Come on, man. One of the greatest drummers was questioning himself. Yo, I can't even do that. You know? So yeah, it was amazing, man. He's amazing.
As far as making beats, we see you make beats on your videos and stuff like that. Just in general, how long does it take you to make a beat from start to finish, or does it vary?
It depends on the actual beat, what I'm creating. You know what I'm saying? If I'm creating a sample based joint, can knock them out quick, 10, 15 minutes, you know, a beat. And that's just the loop, obviously, you know. I mean, we can format it out probably another 10 minutes, but yeah, for something like that, 10, 15 minutes. But if I'm really taking my time, like this might be for an artist, you know, or an artist might be here with me.
Yeah.
It could take us about 30, 45 minutes to really get the idea out and then start moving forward with recording and stuff like that. But I'm just making it for, you know, just to have about 10, 15 minutes. And if I'm feeling it, I'll keep going. But if not, I'll move to the next one. I try not to spend a lot of time on the tracks, just try to keep it moving.
That's good. It's pretty fast, man. You know, and that I guess that helps with being productive too. You know, like being able to do it fast. You can knock out a lot more beats. You know.
Yeah.
That kind of way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good process to just keep it moving. Try not to get attached to, you know, that specific beat, because you'll sit there and wreck your brain trying to do everything. And now you done added 50 sounds, and it's like, no.
Overthinking it.
Yeah, once you get to that point,
overthink it.
yeah. Once you get to that point where you're like, I don't really know what to do, that's when you give up. You know, just stop. Like, just go to the next beat.
Yeah. And you know, you're the boom bap guy, but you know, who are some of the non-boom bap producers who you think are dope? Because I mean, I feel like there are a lot of, you know, guys that don't make boom bap, but I love their beats. But who is it for you?
Well, I guess I'm gonna speak from like now time. Buddha bless his beat.
Okay.
Fire. Let me see who else. Obviously, 808 Mafia. Those are really like the what do I want to call them? The four, or no. I was gonna say the frontiers, but like the godfathers of this sound today. Because like when like Lex Luger and
I remember Lex Luger when he was doing his thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's still.
Still doing his thing, but when he had his run, like him and Sizzle kind of changed the industry sound, the trap sound. So those guys, 808 Mafia. I know Lex Luger's not in 808 Mafia, but they started it together. So I'm speaking from the early 808 Mafia days. But yeah, so them. Let me see, a couple more. I'm gonna say is there's some people I watch too that be doing anything. I watch Producer Grind a lot.
Yeah, that's a dope channel.
They got a lot of crazy producers on there. Those are the only two.
There's a lot of people that I'd love to have done interviews on there.
Yeah. No, those are the only couple that I can think of off top right now. But yeah, definitely Buddha and 808 Mafia for sure. OG Parker. And then there's another producer I like a lot. His name is Ayo the producer. He did John for Lil Wayne and Rick Ross. So it was like one of his earlier production placements. Okay. I remember that beat.
Yeah. What about some of the people that have been out for a few years? I like Mike Will Made It.
Yep, OG. He's an OG for sure. Yep.
Yeah. Who else? Manny Fresh is dope too.
Manny Fresh is a godfather. That's the godfather. Yep. I was gonna say Toomp, but I know Toomp also can do boom bap too. You know. So.
Yeah. He kind of like is like a mixture. I mean, he has a down south style to a certain degree, but he also samples. You know, so.
Yep. No, I like Toomp for sure. Toomp is a very, very dope producer.
A lot of talk has been going on about AI. You know, now like you got the Lensa app where people are doing the AI art of their photos and everything. Yeah. There's also like I think there was like an AI rapper that they had.
Oh yeah, ago. That didn't last. He didn't really get to feel what is it, 2 or 3 seconds of 2 seconds of 5 seconds of fame, whatever that little saying is.
It wasn't 15 minutes of fame.
It was not at all.
But like and I'm just making a prediction that some of the more popular hip hop and stuff, pop music type stuff, is gonna be easy for them to do AI for that type of thing, and probably put some producers out of work. But do you think that boom bap producers will ever have to worry about AI beats taking over, like them trying to get an algorithm that they can follow to make boom bap? What do you think about that?
So this is kind of, I'm gonna get weird for a second. All right, so obviously it's artificial intelligence. So
right,
the very first word in there is artificial. So you can't put artificial and intelligence in the same category.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's
the
fake.
Oxymoron.
Yeah, it's kind of like weird. Yeah, it's like, how do we have fake intelligence? I don't understand. But anyway, so I would say that we don't really have anything to worry about on our side, and I'm gonna speak from the boom bap for a second, just because like the type of music we make, it requires soul. It requires human soul. Mm-hmm. And with the artificial intelligence, right? Like it's wired to be one specific way. We are not. Like, you can't hit the table. When you're making a beat on the table, you're not going to hit the table the same time every single time.
Right.
So with artificial intelligence, that's pretty much what it's made to do, is to stop that, that, I guess that part that I was just talking about, where the timing aspect, right? Where they want it perfect, it's going to be perfect. Mm-hmm. But we'll never ever have that with humans. So with artificial intelligence, it's always going to miss the soulful part of it. They may be able to, make and churn out a bunch of records, a bunch of songs, a bunch of beats, but it'll never have true soul, because you need a human to have that feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel the same way about that. It's you can't replace that. It's
not at all. And pop music and so pop music really truly is like a genre. And of course it's called popular music. But
right.
But we know what pop music to be. Pop music truly is like a Lady Gaga, a Christina Aguilera, right? Like, we know, like, true pop music.
Yeah.
And those types of records, although somebody is truly making it, it's 4/4 to the floor a lot of the times. Like, it's straight. It's no, like, there's no, like, swing to it. You know what I'm saying? It's right. It's right on the grid every single time. So those types of records, they can make them all day. They can do that all day. We can have that. That's good. That'll be good for commercials. That'll be good for, TV stuff.
Yeah, whoever
like
likes that kind of, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but for, hip hop, stuff like that, it will never be able to fulfill that human aspect when it comes to just hip hop, boom bap, soul. It'll never be able to have that aspect of it. So I don't think that we have truly anything to worry about. I think it'll find its place in, just like everything else has, but I don't think that it'll necessarily take over to where, producers are no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
And how important is mixing your beats, and should producers be able to know how to mix, or should they just like pass it off to the engineer? Like, I'm done with the beat, you take it. What do you think?
I think that it's a mixture of both. Because if I'm gonna say the first part, you definitely should know a little bit about mixing. I remember an interview of DJ Premier talking about he gave his stems, or he sent some stems over to an engineer for them to mix for an artist or whatever. And he heard the song and he was like, man, the drums is whack. For Primo to say his own drums are whack, that means that something happened along the way. Mm-hmm. So he basically said that, I then did them a certain way so that the engineer didn't have to then mess with them or touch them or whatever. So that means that Primo now, he knows how to mix. He knows some sense of mixing. So I think that all engineers, or not engineers, but producers, should definitely have some sense of engineering, so that like, that don't sound right, or this is how I know it should sound. So when you get to an engineer or with an engineer, you can tell them, I want it to sound like this, and they don't affect, how your beat should sound or whatever.
Right.
And usually the only time you should really pass it off is if you're truly at that point to where you're like, I don't really care about mixing. I just want to get these beats to people. I just want to, just be that producer that just gets placements. I'm just sending them off. Like, I don't care what happens as long as it gets placed. Those are the people that probably should just worry about sending it to an engineer, because they don't really care about the mixing aspect. But yeah, if you really truly love this and you love, or you cherish how your stuff should sound or how it should be, I would say definitely learn mixing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. And I think, like, probably as far as the passing it off, I'm pretty sure that like the big albums and stuff, if you're gonna be working on something, you know, huge like Beyonce or something, you might probably want to have the best mixing engineer in there too, like you know, along with it to kind of let them touch it too, you know. But yeah.
I mean, mixing will take, and that'll take you a long way too. Like we were talking about earlier, like streams of income. Like if you know mixing as a producer, guess what? You can pull people to the crib or to your studio and be like, yo, I can record you, I can mix you, I can master your stuff, because you know how to do that, you know. So that's another stream of income.
Yep, that's another way. Yeah, there's so many ways that we can make money as producers. We gotta, you know, start thinking outside the box, you know.
For real. Like I don't even sell a lot of beats, you know, but I'm in the studio with artists almost every day. So it's like different artists too, like not the same, you know, same crew every day. It's like, no, I'm at a studio, different people come in. I don't sell a lot of beats, but I know how to mix and master their stuff. I know how to get them in and out.
And just when you're talking about the studio, like do you still work with the beat majors, like you said that like that's on your YouTube name and stuff, like, so is it just you, or are you still in the group, you know, with the beat majors too?
So I created the beat majors in 2014. So 2014 I came up with that name. I was like, this is gonna be like, I wanted to create pretty much like a production team. This is before I knew that I was gonna start doing like the YouTube stuff and kind of doing this stuff on my own. I had a homeboy, his name is Servo Butane was his name. But so I was like, yo, let's call ourselves the Beat Majors. So we went, got the LLC, you know, did all the stuff, business stuff for it, trying to really make it legit. And we did that, and you know, we kind of parted ways, and we parted ways because he moved to California. So he's still my homie. He's still like, I would still say we're the ones that created this together. So I would never be like, oh, you moved away, you ain't. No, if we connect again, or we can talk again and really have a conversation or whatever, like bro, still here. Like I ain't never gonna be like, no. My homie Killer Dame is in this too. He makes beats. So he's still a part of this. We still talk. He's in Texas though, so he's away from me as well. Then I got a homie here in my city too that we added. His name is Jarrell, and Young O, but he's an artist, so he calls himself Jarrell. But so we're still all in this thing. We're just all doing our own thing, you know what I'm saying? But we're all still,
I feel that.
We're still
like a Wu-Tang Clan type thing. Do solo, you know, whatever.
Like you know Raekwon, you know Raekwon, but you know Raekwon was a part of Wu-Tang. So that's kind of how the crew is, like, you know Killer Dame, you know, but you know he's part of the Beat Majors though too. So and like as far as with your at your studio, you have like a steady stream of artists that you're working with and stuff like that on their different projects and everything? Well, with the studio, it's pretty much just like somebody books online, they pay, and they come record. If they do want to do like a project, and they just keep booking the time, or if it's a situation where it's like, yo, let's do a project together, then we work out the details of that, and then now we kind of, you know, doing that. Like I have an artist now where we're doing a project, but the studio time is pretty much already paid for by him paying me for that full project. So we just go on our own time, free time, and work on the project. But other stuff that he does outside of our project, he comes in, books time, pays for that time, and then boom, he does his thing. So so I, you know, it just depends on what the artist needs or what they're looking for. But majority of the time, it's just new artists coming in or returning customers coming in and just working on whatever they might be working on. But
how should producers balance working on their craft and getting better at making beats and promoting their beats to like monetize their brand and you know, get their name out there? What do you think about that?
Let's see. So let's start from like somebody starting off. So if you're just starting off, I would say get better first. Like work on your craft as much as possible, day and night first, and then move to trying to figure out and work with artists. Because I noticed that like a lot of producers, they start off, they want to work with artists, but the caliber of artists that they work with isn't somebody or something that's going to help them, you know what I'm saying, get better. So you want to, I would say, get better first and then start finding artists to work with, just because once you start finding artists, what's going to happen is you're going to align yourself with people who are already on a different type of level, or you're going to hear that they're on a different type of level. So, now you know, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna work with them. Whereas when you first starting off, you're just like, whoever doing it, I'm just trying to work with them. But it's like you're not privy to, they don't really sound that good, and they can get better. But right now, they don't really sound
better first.
You got to get better first to really cipher out the not so good artists. Yep. So get better first, and then working with artists. And then I would say you got to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to be someone who just sells beats, or do you want to be that producer that actually does the work with the artist, actually develops the project? Actually, you got to figure out what it is that you want to do, because then that'll kind of decipher, should I be a producer who just sits here and promotes beats all day, or should I be that producer that finds artists, works with the artists, and then that's my promotional tool, is by doing all this work with these different artists, where now other artists are like, yo, I like what you did for so and so, I need that too. So that's pretty much the way that I took, where I was like, I tried the beat selling thing. That was kind of whack. I'm not good at being like, hey, come buy my beats.
Yeah. It depends on what you want to do, and it's like, that you don't want to be like spamming people and like
I'm not up for that. I don't like that.
Like you're just bugging people to buy your beats, and like that turns people off anyway. Like all you're doing, you just come in here trying to push your beats all the time, like, you know.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. I don't like that. So I kind of stuck to working with a specific artist, developing with them, and then as we got better and as his sound got better, other people started noticing, and he was already respected in our city anyway. So it's like, once his sound changed up because he started working with me, and it was getting a lot better, the quality was better. Like, it's like, yo, I need what you got. So now everybody want to come to me and be like, yo, I need what you gave him. But it's like, I can't give you that, because that's that person. Like, we just creating the sound, we just creating music, and this is just what's coming out of it, you know? So just continue to work, get better, and then start working with specific artists to develop some type of sound, and then go from there. But if you want to sell beats, by all means, spam, hit people up, you know what I'm saying? Collect emails, you know, post on YouTube every day. But that's not for me though.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I don't think that's for me either. I want my path to be a little bit different than that.
Yeah, I like developing something and seeing like a specific product. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Not just like, oh, I just sold like a one-off beat to this person here and there. Then I got to do that again.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, and a lot more opportunity can come from it. Like, I did a project with an artist, and you know, we had a song from that project that was on ESPN First Take for like 3 or 4 months that they played in the background.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, so it's like that. I would rather have that than be trying to find 50 artists to sell these beats to.
Yeah. What is one thing that you see producers doing in the producer community that, in your opinion, they shouldn't be doing?
Wow, that's a good question. That's a real good question. In the community, I would say just being scammy, man. You know, just being scammy, or just, and what I mean by that is just really being a follower, trying to create just because you just see somebody else doing it. I would say just be authentic. If this is something that you truly want to get into, and I mean from the standpoint of like creating content, don't do it just because you see it's fun, or you see producers going viral, or you see they had a viral video or whatever, or just do it because you love it. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the biggest thing I see a lot of, is just producers just doing stuff just because they think it's cool.
Yeah, producers just wanting, they thinking about it. It'll be a way to make a whole lot of money. Yeah. So they just kind of get into it because, oh, I want the clout. I want the money, you know, and all this, like, but they don't really have a love for making music. Like,
Nope, not at all. And, you know, I mean, you can only get so far doing that. So, you know, just be authentic with it. If you want to make content, then truly make content. If you want to sell beats, truly sell beats. But don't just do it because it look fun, because it's a lot of work that comes behind doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then the next question is like the opposite of that. What's one thing that you don't see producers doing that you think could make things better for them in their producer journey and trying to grow their brand and everything?
Let me see. So I'm in the content world, so I'm gonna speak from a content point. So like on YouTube, I do see a lot of producers trying to make now more of the entertaining content more than the valuable content. So like a lot of people are obviously streaming is a big thing now. So a lot of producers want to stream and they just want to sit there and make beats and be funny and entertain, which is some people like to see that. But for me, I rather see more value given than entertainment, funny, stuff like that. I would leave the funny to the funny people. But if you got the value, share the value and give the game. You know what I mean? Because that's really the name of the game now. To me at least, give the game, share that, so that another producer can grow and be better, and you can build a plethora or a community of producers that are just growing. Like that's what I want to see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, because I think some people probably go too far with the entertainment. Like it's like kind of let people. It's good to show your personality, but let people remember that you're a producer too. Like what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. And then, like I said, nothing's wrong with entertaining. Like some people they want to be entertained and they want to have fun creating, but I just want to see more people just give more information, more game, help more people out, because now we can, like I said, literally do this from our basement, in the living room, behind dining room, bedroom, whatever. You don't need to really be that placement producer. Like you can create. So the more producers that know knowledge, the more producers that we can teach, the more producers that can grow, the more producers we can build, the more producers that can make money,
Right.
It's a lot of money out here for all of us. So let's make it together.
About the education, man. That's the great thing, man.
Yeah.
Okay, and tell me about your video where you did the Boom versus Trap collab with Crack-A-Lack Films. Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, so Crack-A-Lack, that's my homie. That's actually his studio that I work at. So he has a recording studio called Crack House Recording Studio, and it's been there in that spot for over 10 years now. And he makes content too, and he's been making content for a long time. And when I came up here to this city that I live in now, he lives here too. I was like the only one that was truly making content. Like there's producers here, really dope producers, but I'm like the only one that was really making content and consistently making content. So we linked up one time and made a beat making video. It was like a little baby type beat. I think I posted that on his channel. Yeah, that was on his channel. And then I posted a hip hop beat that we made on my channel. And a couple years later, he was like, yo, we should do like a boom bap versus trap video. And I was like, yeah, for sure, let's get it. So we did that. And I'm not thinking nothing of it, just kind of like, let's just do something for fun, just kind of bring our brands together. And we did that. And that video is still, man, I don't even know where it's at now, but I think the last time I checked, it was like 100,000 views, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that was just dope, just for us to just have some fun, create, show the different sides of what boom bap producers can do and a trap producer can do, and how the sounds can be different using the same sample.
It was dope to see that. It's dope to see that it doesn't have to be like a hard divide. Like, I'm boom bap over here, I can't stand trap, or I'm trap and I don't like boom bap. Like it can coexist,
Yep. As long as you figure out, the different things. Like me and him talk all the time. You know what I'm saying? He makes trap beats, he shoots music videos, but we work together, we make ads together, we shoot content together. You know what I'm saying? We're two totally different spectrums of music making, but we can still come together and create content. We can still come together and create, businesses,
Yep.
So we're partnering at the studio now. So like I pretty much manage the studio for him. That's just dope that we could come together and, be one, and we make two totally different types of beats. Like I said, I can still make the stuff that he makes, but
Yeah.
My thing is boom bap. I love
that.
that.
Boom bap. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like as far as on your videos that you make on YouTube, I know like you like that a lot of times they're like probably like 15 minutes long or whatever. So like how long does it take you to when you have an idea to make a video that's like, let's say 15 minutes long?
About an hour to shoot everything. Yep. I might like stop the camera a few times, you know, to go to the next thing or whatever. But yeah, looking at like when in OBS it tells you like the time at the bottom. But average, yeah, it's about an hour to like shoot the video and probably another 2 to 3 hours to edit it and get it all cut up the correct way and stuff like that. So we're looking at about 4 hours altogether just to make one video.
Yeah.
For it to only be 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, that goes to show the work that goes into it. So you said like it takes an hour to shoot it, and then editing, you said what?
2 to 3 hours. Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty standard, you know.
Yeah, man.
People don't realize it takes a lot of work doing this.
Yeah. That's really the reason why I don't release more, just because it's like I got to take 4 hours to make one piece of content, you know.
Yeah.
But if I'm trying to do more. I'm trying to put out more videos, at least like 2 a week.
Yeah, it's like you know, it just depends on what you have going on, and like, you know, if you're able to, you know, bring somebody else on to help out with editing and stuff like that, because yeah, it does take a long time. Like there's nobody that can, you know, always, you know, do every part of everything.
Yep.
For like a long period of time.
Yep, absolutely.
Without burning out.
Right. No, that's the big thing. That's a big thing. Don't burn out, because I've done that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yep.
And Curtis King was one of the channels that inspired me to start making videos on YouTube. Like whenever you first in 2016, when you started making YouTube videos, what was it that made you decide to start making videos?
I'm gonna say Busy Works Beats, really.
Okay, yeah, I like him too.
Yeah, yep. I was watching his videos, but like there wasn't a lot of there was producers doing the same thing, but I just knew that I had game too. I had information too, and I'm like, if this is where it's at, I'm gonna start giving this game that I got to then. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't trying to be like the best producer, nothing like that. I just wanted to just show producers that it is possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got all this game. Let me share it, because I had to search for all this game. Like I had people around that helped a little bit, but I had a lot of this stuff that I know. I had to go searching for it. It was trial and error. Like I didn't really have somebody be like, yo, this is how you use the compressor the right way. Yo, this is how you EQ. Yo, this is how your effects change should look. I didn't have nobody to do that for me. I had to kind of trial and error that. So now that I know, and I've had a lot of experiences or just stuff that shows that what I've been doing is good. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start sharing what I know, because it's been proven that what I know, it works. You know what I'm saying? Like I mixed the song that was on Empire. Like the engineer that did it first, I did the beat, I made the beat, and then our writing team made the song, but the engineer that did it first, Fox, was like, nah, we don't like the mix on it though. So they was like, yo, can you mix it? And I'm like,
okay, so you redid the mix for the joint.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, let me try it. So the engineer sent me the vocals, and then I mixed it. And I'm like, here you go, let's see what happens. And they gave it the green light, and I was like, wow. So all these years where I've been kind of second guessing myself, I should stop now, because literally a TV network was like, no, we like this. And I'm like, okay, bet. All right, cool. Yep. So yeah, Busy Works Beats definitely. So, but like I said, yeah, now that I all this game I got, all this game I know, I just wanted to share. So Busy Works Beats was one of the ones that kind of told or showed me that I can definitely get this game for free and not be mad about sharing the game. Like nothing's gonna happen. Like if take it, they take it. If they don't, they don't. But
I think a lot of people are scared of that. Like, oh, you're giving away your secrets, so people are just gonna copy you and this and that. But like, I mean, it's ways to do it, and where you can still teach people. And I think you toe that line in a great way, in how you educate on your videos.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because like people still be like, yo, where you get your samples from, or like where you get that from, and it's like, yo, it's literally on the screen.
Yeah,
it baffles me how much y'all literally don't even look at the screen.
Right.
Like, I'm literally not hiding nothing. I don't say it out loud and just be like, yo, this is where I got this, but like it's right there. Like you can see.
But if you say it's a sample pack, okay, you told them what sample pack you're using, like, you know, like.
Yeah. This is crazy.
As far as social media platforms go, where does YouTube rank for you?
Number one.
Number one?
Number one for sure. Yeah. It's literally like everywhere you go, like, oh, you don't know something? Oh man, just look it up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's the Google, I mean, even though it is a Google platform, but it's the Google video content. So anything you want to know, just type it in YouTube. How do I do this? How do I do that? Like, and it'll bring up mad videos of how to do this. So, back in the day, you used to have to search Google and be like, okay, somebody they had to post it on a blog, or it was in some forum or something like that. But now you can literally just be like, oh, I just want to know how to do this. All right, I can go to YouTube and watch a video, a quick little 3-minute video, and I know how to do it now. So.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like the educational aspect. It brings it over the top, because, you know, you can have, you know, all the entertainment you want on TikTok and Instagram and stuff. I mean, I know that they do some educational stuff on there sometimes too.
Yeah,
but the main long form content and having a little bit of the social media aspect, I think YouTube, you know, is at the top spot when it comes to that.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the biggest college. That's the biggest university in the world.
Yep, YouTube University.
Yep.
So give us a quick elevator pitch for any viewers out there who've never seen your channel, so they can know what to expect when they check you out after this.
Let's see. Man, I could probably just say the one that I say at the beginning of every video. Man, but now I'm just I'm a music producer of over 15 years, and I just like to show producers how to make boom bap and hip hop beats. So, you know, when you go to my channel, that's what you can expect is boom bap, hip hop, but you can apply these same, and that's why I like the way that I teach, because what I teach is not just geared towards boom bap. Mm-hmm. I teach principles. So it's like, you can take this and apply this to any genre of music that you make. You know what I'm saying? So even when I talk about mixing drums and stuff like that, those same principles, you can take that and mix that into trap. You can take that and mix that into R&B. So I don't teach from a step-by-step aspect, just more so the principles. So when you go to my channel, you can apply it to anything that you do, music-wise.
What's up? That's what's up. All right, so, you know, I've enjoyed having this conversation with you. They call me Heat, you know, dropping so much game, letting us know what you do as far as cooking up that boom bap. Mm-hmm. So if people want to reach out to you or check you out online, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so obviously on YouTube, just search They Call Me Heat. Instagram, They Call Me Heat. I'm drawing a blank, I don't know why. But, Instagram, They Call Me Heat. What else am I on? That's pretty much it, really. But Boom Bap University, that's the main place. That's really where everything's about to be. That's my main hub. I have all my courses there right now, but I'm moving sound kits and all that over there. So I'm going to just leave it at boombapuniversity.com. It's where you can get everything that you need from me. But yeah, Instagram, YouTube, and Boom Bap University.
All right, that's what's up, man. I'll definitely, try to make sure I have some of those. Links for to some of the things so they can support you and check you out. You know, when this drops. And yeah, man, I just want want to thank you for doing this with me, man. And
for sure. Appreciate you having me, man.
Back to the Boom Bap podcast. Yeah, you're welcome, man.
One of the things I missed, I guess, a stream of income too. I want to go back to that. Is I have taught twice at Michigan State University. So,
okay. So what did you like? What did you do? What did you teach there?
So the first time I did it, it was I can't remember what the class was, but they wanted to bring in a hip hop producer, and they wanted me to show them how I make a beat from start to finish. So this was at the height of the pandemic, like right when they started opening school back up and saying that we could do like the Zoom calls and stuff or whatever. Yeah. So I did a Zoom call and I taught them specifically how I make a beat. So pretty much how I did in the Cooking That Boom Bap masterclass, I essentially did that same thing for them on a Zoom call. Yeah. And then just recently now that we're back like in buildings and stuff, right? Just recently this year, I did a class at MSU again for this program that they had called Gear Up, and it was basically where they bring in younger students to show them they get to stay on campus, they get to do all that, and they did that for like a week, and I taught a class there for a month of just teaching them about our organization. This organization I work for is called All of the Above Hip Hop. It's a nonprofit, but yeah, just teaching them my beat making process, how to make a beat, and they got to come up and mess around with it too, you know. So yeah, it was dope. It's dope experience.
That's what's up, man. It's almost like what Ninth Wonder was doing in the colleges and stuff, man.
Yep, and he had a whole course. You know what I'm saying? I was just there, just as you know, with my organization, but it's gonna be dope the next steps that we take. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I touched on that because that was just another stream of income too. It's just teaching at an actual facility or an actual place. You know, it was an opportunity to teach at Michigan State, but just kind of keep that in mind, you know.
Yeah, I bet that was awesome, man.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Make it feel good to be able to help people, you know what I'm saying, to see their the wheels turning in their head when they start, you know, clicking. You
absolutely.
Start messing around with it and learning.
Yep.
That's what's up.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, we'll be talking soon then, man.
All right, man. You have a good rest of your day, man.
For sure. Be safe, man. Happy New Year again to you.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you too, man.
All right, bro.
Peace.
Yep.